Al, it's time to talk about a game we talked about 5+ years ago,
Wow. That was a long time ago.
and also a game that is now, of course,
Mm-hmm.
21 years old.
Ugh.
Well, the original version, not this version we're talking about, of course.
Of course, of course. This is a new version, but
Yes.
still, ugh.
Ugh. Yes. Hello, welcome to this week's episode of the Season Anime Checkup OVA. It's a podcast where we have conversations about video games, anime, and manga. Hello, I'm Jared, joined as always by Doc, Allen, Lady
Hello.
This is episode number 465. And we're finally going to talk about that Trails in the Sky remake. Because I finally beat it.
You finally beat it.
I did it.
You did it. I watched.
You sure did.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So yes, this is the remake of the first Trails game
Mm-hmm.
that, like we said, came out in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
Way back in the day.
We were kids.
We sure were. We were the youths.
The youths.
And yeah, this was originally, it was the like isometric gameplay and all that sort of stuff. This remake is done on the Daybreak engine, so it has the same characteristics of those games where you can do you can do fights on the field or jump into turn-based battles
Mm-hmm.
that way. So it has that kind of dual system in that, and then a lot of the other kind of systems from those games are kind of here as well. It's fully 3D and everything. So it is a new way to see this game in particular, and obviously the games moving forward as well.
They also make it easier to track where things are,
Mm-hmm.
like quests and collectibles and things, which is also something they added in Daybreak,
Yeah,
which is great because sometimes things are hard to find in terms of like missables and that kind of thing. Or
sure.
like you have a very short window to get it.
Mm-hmm.
So having a marker on there helps quite a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, this came out on September 19th of this year for the Switches, the PlayStation, and the PC. And yeah, it's very interesting to kind of go back to this early portion of the series compared to how things are with the series like currently, because
Yeah.
we kind of get like the best of both worlds in that aspect, because we had Daybreak 2 in the beginning of this year, and now we have this here in the latter half of the year. So it's a really interesting dichotomy between the two points of the franchise essentially.
Hmm.
We're probably not gonna get super deep into like the story and everything, because we have technically talked about this game previously, way
Yeah.
back in episode 166. So if we had actually delayed it another week, we could have had 300 exact episodes in between this and the original time we talked about it.
Oops.
But of course, that wasn't the only thing we talked about in that episode. We also talked about the Persona 5 Scramble demo
Oh, wow. Okay.
and also the Stranger Things 3 game.
Wow.
And of
We,
course, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say we used to have some interesting grab bags.
We sure did. In this episode came out on February the 15th of 2020.
Oh, God.
Interesting time for sure.
And the world was about to end.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
Oh,
if you
no.
want like a more detailed or like just like a more story focused breakdown, Al goes through the story and everything, because that's when she first played the game
Hmm.
in that episode. So you can go back and listen to that. We'll mostly focus on kind of like my experiences with it, because this is my first time playing through it, and a lot of like this like the newer things that they did for this remake, which again, they, like we said, they build it from the ground up, so it's kind of a new experience,
And it has voice acting.
and it's got voice acting all the way throughout,
Yeah.
which is obviously a little bit different than the original version as well.
Which had like basically battle lines.
Yeah. We've talked about this when these games or when this got announced and everything, and subsequently coming up to release and everything, how like it makes a lot of sense for them to do like a remake of this game, or at least something with these games in particular, because they have not been re-released outside of I think the last time they were re-released was like on phones in Japan.
Oh, wow.
The last time they were re-released in North America was the PSP version in 2011.
Wow.
Since then, they had done a PS3 and a Vita version for Japan only. So yeah, like these games were not necessarily as accessible to play. They had the PC version, but that's kind of can be kind of funky to get running here and there, and also
Mm-hmm.
it's the older version of like older style, I should say, compared to like what they went with when they did start Cold Steel and everything with the 3D and everything. So for some people that might be hard to go back to and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't necessarily as easy to get back and go back and play these games uh, as a lot of the other games are, which are basically have been put out on everything.
Right.
So it made a lot of sense to put these games back out in some capacity. It's neat that they're doing full blown remakes of this, and obviously two, which we find out at the end of this game that they're already right into it, and we've already learned since then as well that basically that second chapter remake is going to be coming out by September of next year, so probably around the same time that this came out, I would assume.
I would
It
also
would make a lot
assume.
of sense
Yeah.
since this was a worldwide release
Mm-hmm.
compared to every other Trails game that's come out so far. So it coming out in September of next year would make a whole lot of sense, and it's neat that it's neat and it's nice that we are getting these pretty quickly
Yeah.
compared to some of the previous Trails games and all that. So, um,
Yeah, I mean, we're getting Horizon next year and this next year.
mhm.
So that's pretty rad. Um, but yeah, the even think about the original. I'm pretty sure there was a pretty big gap between the release of first chapter and second chapter, so we don't have to deal with
uh,
that.
let me check. So this was 2004 June. Not really. I mean,
Oh,
kind of. Second chapter came out originally on March of 2006. So about almost 2 years, but
in the US?
no, in Japan.
I think it was a big gap in the US.
All right, let me check that. So original release for this was March 2011 for the PSP.
Psp.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. This was October 2015, a dual release with the PSP version and the PC version.
Yeah, so we don't have to worry about that. That's good.
Yes, that is very nice. Um, so yeah, game runs really well. It looks really nice. Like the Daybreak engine is a really good upgrade for these games that we've kind of seen the progression of, like we said, from the Cold Steel games up to now,
Hmm.
of how they've done a lot of this 3D JRPG stuff and all of that. Um, and yeah, it's such an interesting game to kind of go back to in particular, especially if you haven't played it like I hadn't, where just thematically and just how they present their story is so different from
Hmm.
the games that are currently out, where you kind of have a knowledge of like everything that's going on. There's all these stakes that have already been set and everything, so like you have like all these different sets of villains that are out there roaming around, and you kind of know who's on whose side and everything, whereas like with this, like
We get
none
one mention of Ouroboros.
yeah, like none of that has been established yet, so you can't really just like go full hog into like what all the time.
Ah!
Like it is a very slow burning game. And a lot of these first Trails games in particular, are kind of slow burning, regardless.
Hmm.
But this one is like even more so because it is the very, very, very beginning of everything,
Yeah, this one is basically Estelle learns that her dad was pretty cool and was also all over the place.
and it keeps denying it every time. It's like that guy, that
That guy!
guy, that guy.
And like everybody knows him, and she's like, huh? One thing that I do want to highlight is that I was a little worried about like how the like goofy facial expressions were gonna come across because
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of really, really goofy facial expressions in the original version because they had the little like sprite portraits, basically. But it's still translated really well. Like they still have some of the like goofy eyeball situations, like the swirly eyes when Olivier gets completely toasted and
Yeah.
um the like I forget what it's actually called, but basically the like carrot eyes where it's like the two brackets looking at each other.
Mm-hmm.
But like they do those and it doesn't look unnatural. I mean, it is unnatural, but it doesn't look like out of place. Um, and I was a little worried about how those were going to come across if they were actually going to do them, and they did. So that was good. I was happy. But yeah, it is really just Estelle learns her dad was actually kind of a badass
Yeah. Yeah,
and
I
not
think
just a goofy little guy.
they were able to really keep the charm of this game,
Yeah.
which again, going from that isometric and the character models are very small and all that sort of stuff to a full-blown 3D environment with 3D characters and everything is a big change in art direction and everything. So being able to carry over some of that goofiness to this is I think they do a really good job of like being able to maintain that through both versions.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, can't wait to see Kevin, what he's gonna look like.
Our boy Kevin. We're gonna get a lot of Kevin here soon, I should say.
I know. Next year is the year of Kevin.
Kevin's back, everyone.
Kevin's back. I thought you were gonna joke and say who when I said Kevin.
Who? That guy we
Next
see
year.
we don't even see in the post credits scene or post
You
credits teaser of 2.
you see him in the very back, but you don't see any details about him at all. You would only know who it is if you know who he is.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, 2026, the year of Kevin. Are you ready?
Kevin's back, everyone.
That means it's got to be a good year, right?
It has to be, right?
Can't be worse than this year. Jesus Christ. Ugh.
Uh,
The year of Kevin. You know, Luigi got a year, now it's Kevin's year.
get out of the way, Luigi. It's Kevin time. I mean,
It's
they're
Kevin.
both green boys, so
Not wrong, not wrong. But I'm excited to see Kevin and how he ends up
yeah.
looking and getting more of like the Ouroboros folks showing up.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Voice acting is really well done. There's a couple of weird direction choices that they go with in here in terms of how they decide to pronounce certain words, which is a bit strange.
like liberal.
Yeah,
Did they decide it was pronounced liberal?
and also changing a character's name despite him having a different pronunciation in the Daybreak games.
Yeah, yeah, that was another thing. Is like Jin is supposed to be pronounced Jin,
hmm
and they're like Zin. It's like that.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll keep that through the next game or if they'll change that at all.
I hope that they correct it.
Yeah.
And I hope that they correct the liberal pronunciation too, because they got all the same voice actors for the most part. I think the only, well, no, I was gonna say the only one that is an original. I mean, they didn't get Bryce Papenbrook back, but they didn't get him back for the other games either. So like they have most of the original cast in like Cold Steel and Reverie and games like that.
Where these characters have shown up in other places, yeah.
Yes, yes. Um, and so those voice actors are the same. So they've said it right before.
And there's multiple times you hear them say it
Yeah, correct.
in
Not
different ways.
not Jin though. Not Jin. They always call him Zin, which I guess is better than the like version of it that I originally played where they call him Zane.
That's wild.
Yeah, apparently it was a translation error.
But yeah, like you said, like a lot of the main voice actors are back from the original version. I think the only ones that are different between the two versions of the main characters, at least, is Olivier's Matt Mercer now, as he has been.
Yeah, which I mean that upgrade really.
And then Tita, Agate, and Jin all have changed.
Yes. But they're the same from the like more recent games though, right? Like I'm pretty sure Tita's is the same as Tita from Cold Steel 3 and 4.
Let's
I
take a look here.
think that's the same for Agate too, but
Yeah,
he goes really in this one.
they definitely gave him a weird direction for our boy Agate here. Yeah, that's the same. And then this dude, I'm pretty sure is just the same. Yeah. So
So
yeah,
they're all the same as.
all those are the ones that are like from the more recent games for sure.
Okay, okay,
So they
that makes
haven't done
sense.
any real big changes in with that regard.
That makes sense. Oh, got my voice cracked. Um, so yeah, they've said it properly before. So they would sometimes slip into it, but I do hope that they correct some of that in the
Yeah,
future.
it's such a again just a weird direction change that I don't know why they would have done that, but shrug shoulders.
Um, do you want to hear something ridiculous?
Yes.
Okay, so they just did an interview recently with Kondo, the producer of these games. I think he's the producer.
Yeah,
He's like the
Toshihiro
guy in charge.
Kondo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, and they asked him about like the third, and he's like, some of the team wants to skip the third and go straight to remaking zero. And it's like, no! The third is the least accessible of all of them right now. It sets up so many things, and don't do this to my boy Kevin. Also, you have all the assets.
they're just gonna they're just gonna find new ways to skip Kevin any way they can.
Oh man, Hondo, why? He did that, and then there was another interview where he talked about how they're gonna start nerfing Rishia's boobs.
Which is very funny.
Very funny.
The funny part about that whole interview is the idea that they were just increasing her boob size throughout the games as like a goof,
Yeah.
and it's just like, okay, now we've kind of gotten a little out of hand here, so because good lord, her chest in Daybreak is just
Them hammer hammers be
outlandish.
hammer hammering. It is absolutely goofy. Yeah, apparently
But
they were
yeah,
like upping them by a cup size every game she was in.
it's very funny.
And then like, all right, guys, we gotta scale this back a little bit. We've gone too far. We've flown too close to the sun. Which none of this has to do with Sky, but I think it's funny that these are the interviews that are happening right now.
Yeah.
Um, I do want to say though, I am so glad Matt Mercer got to be just like a goofy little in this.
Mm-hmm.
Like Olivia's always been a goofy little. And he got to do some of that in Cold Steel. Like some of it was around, but like Olivier is really, really out of control in the Sky games. So you get more of that side of him, and his introduction with the song, um, and his peace and love thing and all. It was just so good,
And then
so good.
them introducing Mueller to be like the handler, just getting him out of all these situations is very
Hmm.
good.
It's very
Uh,
good.
you really get to see that kind of
Dichotomy
yeah, the dichotomy between those two and just how ridiculous it is.
is really, really
But it's
goofy.
very fun.
I love the side quest at the end where they're like, yeah, if somebody wants to meet you, and he's like, a woman wants to meet me, and then Bueller comes in and is like, hey, get your ass back here, we're going.
He's like,
He's like, no.
"Where's the lady?"
And I do also appreciate that they kept the animation of him getting dragged off by the collar on his butt.
Yeah.
Because that was something that was really, really good. And I think they even did that in the Crossbell games too, didn't they? That the original
Uh,
animation, I mean, of him getting dragged off.
I don't remember, but I would believe you if you said it.
I think so, because it's like an iconic thing between him and Bueller, and so I wasn't sure how it's going to translate. Translates perfectly, turns out. It's great. Um, but yeah, it's super fun. I also do appreciate that like once you go through everybody's ornaments, then you get like the alternate costume.
Hmm.
And I was happy that Shara and Olivier's were their color swap versions
Yeah.
for each other. I was like, yay! I know where you guys are gonna go from here.
Mm-hmm.
I see good things in your future, children.
Uh, since you are the expert here, having played the game previously or as the original version,
Hmm.
was there anything from this remake that you thought they should have done differently, or that you were kind of just like on compared to everything else?
Some of the translation is weird.
Yeah, because they did redo that entire thing.
Yeah. Um, and some of it came across as like unnatural or just oddly worded.
Hmm.
And I didn't like that. And it kind of like took some of the charm out of some events. Or just like some characterizations, I guess, out, which is kind of a bummer. Um, like in particular, there's one moment that I'm thinking of where Estelle is talking to Olivier and he like makes some kind of reference to like thinking that Joshua's hot or whatever. And in this version, she says like you have that kind of preference. And the original is like, do you swing that way or something like that? And it just no one would ever say, do you have that kind of preference? Like literally no one has said that about like a sexuality ever. So it just kind of comes across as like stilted sometimes. Um, but we did still get some of the like more charming stuff. Like we didn't get the exact line about present being a boy, but it was close enough. Um, and there were a few Olivier lines that got nerfed a little bit, but
Yeah, I wonder if some of that maybe siltiness comes from the fact that this was a worldwide release and they didn't have like, necessarily maybe as much time as they would have had before.
yeah, possibly.
But that's
But
just
I mean, you have to admit
speculation.
no one would ever say you have that kind of preference.
Oh, you have that kind of preference?
You have that kind of preference? It's like, huh? This is like a out of control country girl. She's not gonna say that.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. Um, we got to see the wildness that is Richard's hair in 3D
True.
and his like stupid Malfoy gel back. I don't even really know how to describe it, but it looks dumb. But Richard is a pretty cool character. You'll get to know him better later.
Yeah, again, I think it's another aspect of the more low key aspect or low keyness of this game where it's just like he's just a dude in the military who just is trying to kind of pull off a coup, and
Yep.
there's not much like super weird supernatural stuff happening throughout. There's a little bit near the end, but
I mean, yeah, you
like
do fight a mech.
yes, but like
It gets weirder.
compared to every other game I've played, it's a lot weirder usually by the end of the
Yeah.
game.
Oh yeah, totally.
Usually you're in like a seventh dimension of hell in a dungeon. And like that's just how this goes and everything. Now it's just like, oh, we just built a weird cavern under the castle. Eh.
It's a military coup. It's fine.
Yeah. So again, it's a lot more downplayed compared to every other game that I've played, where it's just like the end of the world is at stake here,
Mm.
and bad things are gonna happen. It's like, nah, this is just a weird coup that's happening, and we're gonna squash it. And also, some weird things are happening, but we're not really gonna get into it until the very end of this game, where we kind of go mask off for a second, and then you're just like, oh, here's the reveals and everything. But it's also interesting when you get that reveal of like, oh, here's the big name drop of Ouroboros and everything. Here's
Hmm.
Joshua's backstory and everything. That like if this was your first game in this series, like none of that really is super impactful yet. It's just
No.
like that's a name. It's weird organization. Seems like Joshua did some bad things as before he was here at this present time and everything. So that's kind of messed up, but it is more interesting, I think, once you're playing this, knowing everything else that's going to happen. Kind of, it's like, oh, this is an interesting way to kind of like showcase this and reveal this information and everything, and everything that's going to come and all that, and how things are going to escalate not only in just like the next game, but in the mini games to follow and all that sort of stuff. So
Hmm.
it was one of the things that I was curious about going into this, of like, how will they handle that sort of stuff? Like, is that going to get name dropped early on or midway through or what? And it's like, no, they don't even do it until the very end.
The
And it's just
very
one name
end.
drop, and that's it.
Yep.
This is your little teaser for what's to come.
It's very low key, and usually the first game is like the build up game, but things get like
Yes.
completely off the rails by the end. But this one didn't even get to that point. Like the rails are saved for the second game entirely.
Yeah, things are still kind of like
Relatively normal?
relatively normal. I mean, obviously the game doesn't end on like necessarily the most happy of notes, but like
Nope.
things aren't like at a terrible point in time like it's how some of these first games have ended, or like
Man,
a super duper cliffhanger of some sorts of, or that kind of thing.
I saw someone say that this cliffhanger is worse than Cold Steel 3, and I'm like, no. This is not worse than Cold Steel 3.
This is barely a cliffhanger, if anything. It's just like
Right.
the story's going to continue.
The story continues, right? Cold Steel 3, it's like, oh God, everything's really bad. How do
Yeah.
we get out of this? Ugh. I don't know
And
how anyone could like honestly with their whole chest say that Cold Steel 3 like is lesser of a cliffhanger than this.
this is just like, well, Joshua's got to go deal with some stuff.
I mean, it's really like Joshua's feeling guilty
Mm-hmm.
and he's being a little sad boy and he doesn't know how to deal with his emotions and his feelings about things. And Estelle's like, "All right, Bucko, I'm gonna spend this whole next game trying to get you back."
Yeah, if anything, it's just like, all right, we have this split between our protagonists, and we now know that the next game is going to basically be, hey, she's gonna go get this dude back.
Yeah,
Pretty simple, self-explanatory. Not really like leaving you on a super cliffhanger or anything. It's just like, all right, we understand what the next game's going to be about. Like that's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory,
oh
pretty
right,
easy to get.
you said they pronounced Hamill like Hamill instead of Hamel,
Yes.
which Hamel is how you're supposed to say it.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently now it's Hamill. Mark Hamill's here.
Yeah, Mark Hamill's village.
Yeah, the
He's
village where
gonna.
he
It's a village of all his characters. He has voiced and everything. So there's Luke Skywalker. There's the Joka
the
baby.
Joka baby.
There's
There's English Majima.
there's English Majima is gonna say some slurs at you.
Oh no.
Everyone's here.
Everyone's here. But yeah, that is a bummer that they pronounced that wrong. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see like how all that's handled, especially given like information we know from Cold Steel 3 and 4.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it is really pretty a simple it is a pretty simple setup. Sorry, my brain is fried. And that yeah, he's gone, she's gonna get him back. She
Which
gets a
again,
new
given
outfit to do so.
given the circumstances of how this game is and everything, with how just like pretty low key it is throughout most of the game, makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Um.
And they have freedom now as senior bracers to like do things at other branches without getting like transferred and all that fun stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
that makes it a little bit easier to have Estelle navigate around
Yeah, and like
liberal.
pick up her pick up some crew here and there throughout, some old friends or whatever. Um.
Some
Yeah, I
new
think
Kevins.
I do think it's going to be interesting to see how second chapter is, in particular with how like it escalates the story and everything, how the stakes ramp up and all that sort of stuff, how
Hmm.
they do that from this game to that and all that. So like I think like presentation wise, and or at least like storytelling wise and all that, that's going to be that's the thing I'm kind of like most curious about, because again, like I know of some things from that happened in second chapter because of you've told me and everything, but
Yeah.
again, I have not experienced that game, so I don't
It's also been a
know.
long time since I told you about it, so
Yeah, 5+ years essentially. So I'm very curious to see how that all plays out and everything. It's I think it's going to be I feel like if we're looking at this, in the broader picture, I feel like I'm going to like that game more,
Mm-hmm.
just because it's going to kind of probably fit more into the style of Trails that I'm accustomed to, or it's
Yes.
going to be kind of like the first real peek at it, I would say,
Yeah.
given how everything is, and like there's going to be a lot more characters that I'll be familiar with, in that game as well, that will show up or make their first appearance and everything. So it's going to probably feel a little bit more comfy in that regard, but I feel like just from the story they've told from this game and what they are teasing for the next game, it's very intriguing how they are, how things are potentially going to go and all that sort of stuff.
Um, I want you to know,
Yes.
I just looked up to see who Kevin's voice actor is going to be.
Uh huh.
We are getting Ray Chase,
Because it's presumably it will be just the same person they get for
Horizon.
Horizon. Yeah.
That's what I checked was to see who it was for Horizon, and it's Ray Chase. Because do you know who his original one was?
No.
One Keith Silverstein.
That would have been. That's an interesting choice.
Yeah. But Ray Chase
Huh.
will be good.
Yeah.
I think
Totally.
Ray Chase is going to be really good. One of the most metal moments of all like Trails games happens in second chapter, and I can't wait for you to experience it. And it involves Kevin. It's metal.
Good old Kevin.
One thing we have not addressed yet is the elephant in the room,
What do
which
you
is
mean?
how you played this game in terms of
What do you mean? I played
costume.
it very normally.
Did you?
Yeah, the characters looked very normal.
Uh-huh.
Nothing was super out of the ordinary or anything.
Uh-huh.
Just the most normal playthrough you could ever imagine.
Yeah, how about that kiss at the end, huh?
Yeah, what do you mean? It was the most normal smooch you would ever see.
Yeah, yeah, you couldn't even tell that they were actually smooching at all. They just kind of like bled into each other.
Oh boy. So yeah, because I played this game, a little later than Al had, because Al played it right as it launched and everything. They had put out a few weeks worth of like just the DLCs in particular, but also free DLC as well. And one of those was a costume set, which was like, okay, that's cool. And that costume set, of course, was giant mascot costumes that made the Estelle and Joshua look like their previous
Original,
version
like
selves, like the little chibi versions of themselves, but just wearing big costume versions of that. So
they're
I
like
was like,
mascot costumes.
yeah, I was like, oh, this is very dumb. And I put those on immediately. It's like, oh, this is very dumb. This is great. So they just look infinitely bigger than everyone.
Yep. Huge.
Huge. The game does not know how to really handle that at all in the slightest.
Nope.
It will just clip through them. The
The
bracer
bracer emblem just
the bracer
floats.
emblem will just float on Estelle. It's very good. The cut-ins for like fights and everything with those giant mascot heads.
Yep.
Mwah, chef's kiss.
Sometimes you can see like the neck, like their actual necks underneath the neck of the
Mm-hmm.
costume.
It's just very, very good. Um, and yeah, like you said, you got to that. You were like, oh god, I hope they at least take the costumes off for this end scene, because this is gonna look very ridiculous if it doesn't. They did it, and I was like,
They did not.
yes.
I was so bummed because I was
I
like,
was so happy.
I couldn't remember. I was like, did I take them off or were they automatically taken off for me? Because I knew it was coming. Um, and I made sure to take I had Joshua in like an apron and a chef hat. And I forget what I had Estelle in. But I changed them back to their normal outfits because I knew what was coming. Um, but you didn't.
Nope.
And I was like, oh no. Oh no, what's gonna happen here? And then like the scene loaded up and I was like, oh no. Oh no.
I thought it was a very good time.
Wow.
Uh,
Have you Googled to watch the scene like what it actually looks like?
no, because I got the perfect version of it. Why would I need to do that?
Help.
It was also very good at times where they would like take parts of the costume off of the character.
Yeah.
So like there's the scene where they're doing the play and everything, and like they make Estelle wear pajamas, but she keeps the head on. So she's just like got the big head laying in bed looking at the other characters as she's going to sleep. I was like, that's very good.
Yep.
They do it in the hot spring where she keeps the head. Well, one of the points she keeps the head. There's like another point where they just don't. And I was like, that's ridiculous. What are you doing?
Grr.
But yeah, again, just the big head, tiny body, or the big body, tiny head. Very good, very funny. I hope, and this is my plea to you, Falcom, keep the mascot costumes free for the next game as well, so I can continue to do this very dumb goof. Which,
Oh no.
I mean, if they keep doing it, they would have to do it for the third as well, so we would get Giant Kevin mascot costume.
Oh no. Oh no.
Just putting that out there.
Oh no.
It would be very good.
Chaos.
So yeah, that was a very fun and stupid and very just it amused me wholeheartedly throughout the entirety of the game, just to see how the game would react to these ridiculous costumes. Like anytime there's like something supposed to be in your hand, it's like, oh, nothing's there.
Nothing's there.
What's that?
The harmonica trade off at the end.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Just playing the harmonica by clipping my hands through my giant mask.
Chaotic.
It was very good. Very good little goofy detail there.
Pretty funny.
I mean, clearly that is the optimal way to play, so.
Right, of course.
If you haven't played, I mean, it's free DLC. You're making the experience worse if you don't take advantage of that.
Oh boy.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
Oh boy.
But yeah, this game was really good. I really enjoyed it. Again, it's a really good way to check out this first game in the series if you have not done so, or if you haven't played it in a long time. It's a new experience for you to check out this remake and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I am excited to play the second chapter now.
Yay!
Next
Second
year.
chapter. Yay!
See where everything goes from here. I'm sure everything will be very fine. Nothing bad's gonna happen.
No, nothing bad.
And Joshua and Estelle are gonna finally reunite, and they're gonna adopt a child, and it'll be a-okay.
Yeah, and Kevin's there.
And Kevin's there as well.
Yay!
Just, in the background, face covered.
Mm-hmm. Arms up anime pose, don't forget that.
Yeah, it's arms up anime pose, but face covered, so we don't know it's actually him.
Nope.
So yeah. Is there anything else you want to say about this remake?
I like the like remixes of the music. Sophisticated Fight sounded really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a lot of Sophisticated Fight.
It's true.
That's really it.
Oh, can I also mention my favorite enemy in this game?
You may.
The one dude who holds an apple and he has the skill Hungry.
Hungry! I love him.
That was very good.
I thought you were gonna name Creepy Sheep.
Oh, Creepy Sheep's also good, but he did have the Hungry.
Hungry! In all caps.
All caps Hungry. Very good.
You know, sometimes you're just hungry.
True. Can't deny it.
It's his healing move.
It's very good.
It's very, very funny.
That's going to do it for us this week. Hungry.
Hungry. It's my cats if I don't have a can of wet food open for them at like 4:30.
They just look at you and you just see a little bar above their head, just all caps. Hungry.
Hungry.
So yeah, if you'd like more from us, head on over to seasolanimecheckup.com or sec.cool is where you can find past episodes of this podcast and other podcasts like Jared Now Watch. You can also find columns and reviews on the site as well. If you'd like more from Ann Ladium, go to annladium.com, see their columns and reviews. Follow us on Twitter and TikTok at Anime Checkup. Follow us on Blue Sky Season on AnimeCheckup.com. You can buy our books, One Shiny Moment, A Critical Analysis of Love, Life, Sunshine, Hot Tubs, and Pac-Man on Amazon.com. And get supports on Patreon, patreon.com/SACOVA. Buy us a slice of pizza, get access to unedited versions of the podcast early. Our monthly exclusive Patreon podcast. We got a new episode of that up before the end of the month. I know we're on the ball this time.
Wow.
My pick of the month, we watched Rush. It's a movie about racing in the 1970s.
I got real into it.
Al got real into it. She got to learn how dangerous motorsport was in that time period.
Yep.
So yeah, we watched that, and you can check that out, the new episode of that, and also our previous episodes of that, and all of our other bonus content that's on the Patreon as well. Next week, we have one final episode before we get into our December locked-in episodes, of course. So we'll either be talking about an Otome Al's been playing, or Katamari.
It's probably going to be Katamari. I don't know that I have enough time to beat the Well, it's a holiday, so maybe.
We'll see. Either one of those will be
one or the other.
The episode for next week.